Okie dokie. So within this episode, we basically come across Kikyo, and Kikyo is giving life into this girl who we come to find out is someone who was revived by the same person who revived Kikyo, and not just her, but it was also apparently the same guy. She was running away from, I guess you can call it her spiritual brother, if you will, someone who was revived by same person, same evil witch. Now that witch was using them both, but they both in a way kind of referred to her as mother, if you will, and I get why, because a mother typically gives you life. Um, to think about it, well, I was gonna take it off into a different direction, saying mother gives you life and not death. But I was gonna say actually, it's actually not true. If we think about it more philosophically, a mother does give you life and she gives you death, because the fact that you get life is also the fact that you get death as well. Whether you want to replace, the mom with God or not, or you don't believe in God or whatever, I do believe that where there's life, there's also death as well. They're just different sides of the same coin. Um, or rather, I shouldn't say they're different sides of the same coin, but rather they may even just be the same side of the same coin, actually, just in different locations of that same coin. I feel like within this, with the coin being a representation of eternity or life itself, if you will. Um, but where Kikyo is concerned, Kikyo I feel like is definitely taking notes in this woman, because the woman who was, the other girl who was revived, um, because now Kikyo is starting to realize that life means something. Life has value. The fact that you have free will and you have the freedom of movement and the freedom of choice and everything, it's honestly a blessing. Like, you have to appreciate it for what it is. You have to be thankful for all of that. Could you imagine a life without that? I mean, yeah, it also does lead to a lot of pain and suffering, lack of rest, emotional pain, physical pain. But I feel like we all sometimes lose the value of the fact that we're able to walk around day to day, smell the air, smell different things within nature, um, taste things in nature and whatnot. A lot of us, because it's an everyday thing. But I feel like you should be thankful of what you have. And this is a being, even though she's been revived and she was already dead and she's technically a zombie, she is a being capable of the same feelings, the same mentality, everything. Everything about her is the same as before she was gone. The other man, I thought he was a complete dick and a douchebag, and he still is. But I don't feel like he was quite the monster that I feel like maybe either Inuyasha was trying to portray him as, or, well, actually, really, Inuyasha wasn't trying to portray him as a monster, but just a very misunderstood person, individual, just as the girl is and just as Kikyo is. But yeah, this anime has given me false hope where Kikyo is concerned. But anyway, that man, you could argue it's sad to see that he died tragically. Well, it is sad, but it's understandable. He had it coming, because he was trying to inflict the same death that he experienced upon other people. Not the same death, but like manner of death. He was trying to inflict the feeling of being dead upon other people, trying to feel alive through being the killer. Um, that's it's a very sick mentality, and it really just goes to show I mean, sometimes in life there's a purpose to death, and he's an example of that. Of how living forever could definitely be toxic. Now, with that man, he was saying, I mean, he even came to the understanding, unlike the girl, he was a bit, even though he was more evil, I do feel like he was a mixture of being wiser and more foolish than the girl herself. He understood the value of free will and life itself. I shouldn't say he understood the meaning of life, because I believe it's very loose to interpretation. I believe there are objective things with the meaning of life as a Christian, but I believe that there are also subjective things too, along that kind of complement those objective realities to the meaning of life. But where that man was concerned, he understood what the meaning, not the meaning, but he understood the value of life. I shouldn't say the meaning, but the value of life. The girl quite didn't, and she understood his maturity, and he was more mature in the sense that she knows that he has no right to take away the right to live, especially being a dead person. She was wiser in that aspect. Um, but thanks to the situation that he put her under, so thanks to her pain and suffering, that's honestly what births her new perspective on life itself, pertaining to that we should value life. He was given a second chance. You should take that. I feel like a lot of suicidal people could take that as a valuable message, without a doubt. Um, but yeah, they're definitely giving us false hope as to, I mean, for Kikyo to live throughout the course of all of this. But Kikyo can't live, and Inuyasha ends up with Kagome anyway. It would be stabbing Kikyo when Kikyo was the first one who had Inuyasha to begin with. Like, if she's gonna live, she's gonna claim Inuyasha. That's just the way it is. And that's sad, but is it really sad? It's not really sad. It's come on, it is Kikyo's man. Even though I'm more on the side of Kagome, I can't get mad if she took Inuyasha. It is her man to begin with. You can't get mad at that. I'm sorry, like you just can't. I mean, you could, but you wouldn't be right, I feel like, to get mad at that. Um, unless you don't believe in the concept of right or wrong. But yeah, this was definitely a more deep and in-depth episode, and I feel like a lot of the other ones that we've experienced for quite some time. Definitely had a lot more thought-provoking things. I feel like a lot of philosophical questions that were pronounced, or at least given to us. And I guess it even relates to the old man. I guess it even somehow ties into the old man and the value of life and death. I feel like the value of life and death is a very key message in this series in Yasha. It definitely is a key message. It's a very philosophical series in many different ways. Um, but yeah, guys. Anyway, I have to give this episode like a solid, probably not. I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10. Pretty awesome episode. I actually really did like it a lot. Anyway, guys, you guys enjoyed the reaction. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. You guys are even watching it, or unless you guys just watch the reaction and then you're like, who gives a shit about the review? Which is perfectly fine too. I hope you guys enjoyed both, if you did watch both or one or the other. I'd appreciate if you left a like or a dislike, but I do appreciate honesty. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd like think about that for a second. I really suck at marketing myself. And I guess that's really about it. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you take it easy. Stay awesome. Love you guys too until death. If there's an afterlife, then I'll love you even after death. And I will see you guys in the next reaction. Take it easy, guys, and stay awesome. Peace out.